The ocean's wildlife presents some of the most fascinating and terrifying sights on Earth. With incredible animals such as whales, dolphins, and sharks swimming through the water, you're guaranteed to have quite the adventure. Here are 15 of the scariest and deadliest marine animal battles of all time. Number 15. Mantis vs. Octopus. A California two-spotted octopus is on the lookout for shellfish and pursues the man shrimp. Thinking it's an easy meal, the mantis assumes a posture and changes into a warrior after he enters his burrow. It's known as a Merle spread, and it serves as a warning to the octopus to back off. But the octopus isn't having it. Mantis shrimp raises his hammer claws and launches an assault. His claws struck the octopus with the force and speed of a bullet. The octopus reels. Mantis strikes again, this time with a force comparable to an African lion's crushing teeth. It's too much for the octopus, after which he retreats. Number 14. Shark. Breaks in a cage of ferocious, great white shark rips into a diving cage packed with thrill-seeking visitors. The video was shot by a Canadian visitor who was on holiday in South Africa and opted to swim the hazardous water of his Ganspa, which locals call Shark Alley. The Vancouver native said that the beautiful animal's power rendered him dumbfounded as it went for a dangling piece of bait and narrowly avoided slamming through the secured area. And number 13. Turtle vs. Snake. In this video, the snake is about to discover that Ninja Turtles do not only exist in movies, but also in real life. The snake leaps at the turtle several times, but the turtle is unimpressed. The snake then slides into the turtle's open mouth as if it were going to drop a bomb. But instead it is crushed several times by the turtle's powerful jaws. The turtle just shatters the snake and drags into the water, and the game is over. Number 12. Shark vs. Dolphin. Two Australian oyster men see the aftermath of a shark-dolphin fight. One dolphin was annihilated by two massive sharks. The dolphin was assaulted from behind and below. Based on the damage, after receiving information that the dolphin had been attacked by a shark, the local wildlife department began following it. This happened multiple times while trying to avoid the shark in open water. Unaware of the danger, a jet skier jumped off his machine to swim in the dolphin. Number 11. Shark vs. Eel. A diver captured video of a shark engaged in a minute-long combat with a hungry moray eel. The Morris eel grabs the shark and seeks to drag it down into its reefy home, where it most likely plans to eat like a king. It believes it is. As the shark and eel disappear from the view, you could believe that the eel has won. However, it reappears with a large portion of the shark tucked away in its jaws. Is the struggle done since the eel has won? Not quite. The shark gets its second win and pushes itself out of the moray eel's hold. The two animals part ways once they lose interest in each other. Number 10. Shrimp vs. Dragonfish. Scientists on the Akanos explorer ship researching the region of Tokyo and New Zealand were treated to an intense battle between two water monsters. They saw it using a camera installed on the Deep Discovery, a remotely piloted vehicle. The film shows a shrimp and a dragonfish fighting on the bottom. The shrimp can impale the fish and remove a smaller fish from its gun, which it subsequently consumes. Such predatory behavior by a scavenger like a shrimp is not only uncommon, but it is also rarely captured on video. Number 9. Snake vs. Rabbit. Here's a sight that's pretty common over here in Tucson. A rabbit and a snake. While rabbits are known for staying out of trouble, the one in this video is ready to fight against a snake. We all know that snakes can be very dangerous, even if they are not poisonous. The idea of getting bitten by one of them is not a pleasant thought. That's why we all run away from them, even humans. But not this rabbit. This rabbit is ready to put that snake in its place at all cost, and it gives us one glorious fight. Our next entry is number 8. Octopus vs. Shark. Just like we want to stay away from snakes in the jungle, we also want to stay away from sharks in the ocean. But again, not all animals are afraid of them. In fact, some animals are ready to attack sharks and challenge their threatening appearance at the drop of a hat. In this video, we see an octopus using its camouflage at the bottom of the ocean. And then when a shark does appear, the octopus jumps into action and shows the shark just who's the real boss. Overall, one unexpected, but one interesting fight. Our next entry is number 7. Alligator vs. Hog. Nature is cruel, and that's a fact that sometimes we're not aware of, and so it really hits us right in front of our eyes. This particular video is a good reminder of that and was recorded by some tourists while visiting New Orleans, a city in the southern part of the US. Now, one thing you should know about the South is that it's absolutely full of gators, so you can expect to find them in the swamps and other bodies of water. They even have swamp tours for people to see them up close, kind of like the people in this video. On top of that, there were also some hogs that day, and one of them sadly got too close to an alligator without even noticing. In just a matter of seconds, in the blink of an eye, the alligator grabbed the poor little guy. The hog did try to fight back, but it was pretty pointless here. Our next entry is number 6. Fox vs. Eagle. Foxes are pretty, but they're owned, so very sneaky. In this video, we see a sly fox trying to get into an eagle's nest, but the big eagle is not ready to let that happen. Instead, the two animals get into a fight for power. The fox is pretty good at running away, but the eagle is fast to catch up and teach the animal a lesson it won't soon forget. Our next entry is number 5. Python vs. Alligator. It's not too often that we see big reptiles facing each other, but such encounters do occur, and when it does happen, it's pretty neat to watch. Believe it or not, though, some alligators and pythons often get in the fight. And while it's often expected that the alligator is going to win, the python does have some skills of its own. Sometimes these huge snakes can use their skills to intimidate the alligators and make them back off. However, the majority of times the alligator wins as long as its jaws are strong enough to hold on to the python. Number 4. Moray eel vs. shark. Sharks are fearsome predators, but they don't necessarily rule the food chain. In the first video, a massive moray eel turns the table on a shark that gets too close. The jaw of the moray eel is enormous and powerful. To be successful, the eel must bite the shark head first. The shark almost gets away while it is doing this, but the eel can catch it by the head and guide it into its mouth where it is swallowed. In this next video, it's a completely different story. This time, a white-tipped shark gets into an altercation with a much smaller moray eel, and the shark drags the eel out of its hiding spot into the sea. The eel strikes the shark in self-defense, but the shark continues to swim while holding the eel in its mouth. I think the clock has run out for the eel. Number 3. Great white shark breaks into cage. Watch this great white shark go ballistic and break into this diver's cage and come out of the cage from the top. Everyone is worried and wondering if there was someone in the cage. I don't understand. Don't they know if there was someone in the cage? Lo and behold, after a few seconds, a diver pops out of the cage, shaking and shocked about what just happened. Where was this diver when the shark went through the cage? That was shocking footage and left me bewildered. After lunging at the divers in the cage and being stuck between the bars, this great white shark bled to death. The shark is slowly bleeding heavily before its lifeless body slides into the ocean's bottom. In this disturbing video, if you ask me, that's another shocking outcome. This shark is looking for a way to get into the cage. Out of nowhere, an 18-footer shows up, and this cage might not be strong enough to stop it. The diver is stuck in there, but that's the safest place to be at the moment, as long as the cage resists. This great white shark pops out of the water with the fish in its mouth, and you can see for yourself just how massive the shark is. It must be one hell of an experience to come face to face with one of these monsters. These mature females, measuring close to 15 feet in length each, are checking out the diver in this cage. Next to these massive hunters, these plexiglass cages look extremely vulnerable, and the door's not shut. Well, lower in the shadows and the deeper waters, the larger sharks lurk. The sharks try to get inside the cage, as the diver struggles to keep the door of the cage closed. The onslaught is typically coming from both males and females, which could mean this is a mating ground for the sharks. This great white shark kills a seal in the Bay of San Francisco. You can see all the blood spread out into the water as the people watching the scene react. Number 2. Dolphin attacks. When two dolphins charged with the individual shooting this video, he was standing around 20 to 30 feet off the shore in knee-waist high water. This is referred as stand feeding, and he happened to be in the way. This pod of dolphins intimidated a shark away from the pod, and the shark almost finds itself dangerously close to shore. Sharks and dolphins have coexisted in the ocean for millennia, but scientists have only just begun to comprehend the actual nature of their connection. It's a difficult and deadly environment, especially for dolphins. When the dolphins are down at the bottom with their heads in the seagrass under, the sand sharks can come down on them and ambush them. When the divers look at their footage, they're amazed at how many dolphins have scars. Bottlenose dolphins can be aggressive and combative. In this video, these two bottlenose dolphins are picking a fight with the spotted dolphin, probably just to establish their dominance. Then, just to show it's not a species thing, they turn on one of their own, a smaller bottlenose, and start giving it a hard time. Here the dolphin's true aggressive nature is revealed. Number 1. Sperm whale vs. giant. Squid. Sperm whales range in size from 49 59ft long, and can dive at the depths of 3,208ft, which is where they will most likely come to face with their most lethal nemesis, giant squid, are deep-sea monsters that may be the kraken's real-life counterparts. The longest one discovered so far was 59ft long. Unfortunately, due to their ferocity, the titanic confrontations between them are rarely captured on film. We'll prove that these events take place. Sperm whales with scars resembling giant squid tentacles are prevalent, as are indigestible squid body parts. The sperm whale dives for food and engages in a life or death battle with the giant squids, which the whales are likely to lose. This gigantic squid gets wrapped around the sperm whale's head in this video, and it even attacks the sperm whale, ripping through its sides. But the squid eventually finds itself in the sperm whale's mouth after a few spins and turns. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they are uploaded. That's it for now.